Oh. Oh. You know, I would be in a relationship and then I'd meet somebody and I'd be like, oh my god, I really like you. But I have a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Because it stifles my autonomy and freedom and independence, and I can't do what I want to do when I want to do it, when I have to only do it with one person. And then it's always, you know, the relationship escalator. And as soon as I got to the moving in part, I have a quip, any partner of mine who moves in with me will soon not be a partner. I can't live with people because it got stale, and I'm really bad at living with people. I've been non-monogamous for almost 10 years. I dumped my last monogamous boyfriend in 2008 and said I would never be monogamous again, and I didn't think I could be in any relationship, so I dated a bunch of people casually. They all knew about each other, and etc., etc. And independently, they each asked me to commit to them, and I dumped each of them, and it freaked me out because I was like, I can't have a relationship. I suck at relationships. That's why I'm not monogamous. Long hiatus. And then I started dating again, and I realized I could be in relationships. So I cheated on every single monogamous partner I had for however many years of serial monogamy that was. And so I thought there was something massively wrong with me that I couldn't, be monogamous. So I thought, well, then you just won't be in any real relationships. You'll just date people. And that's what I did for a while there, long time there. I don't know, I've had partners who have been partners for decades. So they're my people. I'm involved in their lives. They're involved in mine, and there's an affinity and a care and love, etc. So yeah. How many partners do you have? I don't even know. I don't know.
You mean if you count the partners of your partner?
No, if I count. I'm a relationship anarchist, so it's hard for me to define. So everybody who is my person is a partner. I have 2 local partners, Alex and N. Alex is also with E, L, and A. A is also with N. And then there's N who's with B. Most importantly are my cats. They are the meta meowers. The top. My primaries, as it were. If there were primaries.
Mm-hmm.
These are my high school besties. My deep loves. These are my long distance heart pieces. And there they are.
But you met them in person?
No.
Oh.
I used to think that you couldn't have relationships that were just online, but over the last couple of years and developing these relationships has taught me otherwise. I'm having less and less of them because I learned rather quickly what I will not put up with. I won't put up with people I'm not in a relationship with having any power over my relationships, which was what happened with my ex. His wife making decisions about what we could and could not do.
So
they weren't out, so I couldn't post pictures on Facebook, I couldn't tag him in anything, I couldn't take pictures with him, which is why I learned I will not date anybody who isn't out. Polygroups are so predictable. June through August my spouse and I want to start a poly family. And then this November through December is, what do we do about the holidays? The holidays. Days. So, yeah. So for the entire month of December, it was like I didn't exist because his mom was in town and he was going to come out to her, and then I was going to come over and give his kids presents, and his wife told him, no, you can't come out to her. So I didn't exist for an entire month, except for one night he told his mother that he was going to band practice. Just no. Well, I mean, just simply hierarchy is any arbitrary ranking, right? I'm not like primary, secondary, blah, blah, blah.
There's not one person you spend more time with?
Well, yeah, there is, because he's local. But
what about your other local?
I see him maybe like twice a month, maybe.
Isn't that one that you see more your primary then?
No.
Why not?
No. Because it has nothing to do with, like, I mean, for instance, I was just telling somebody the other day that I actually spend more time with my partners online than I do with anybody else. So it doesn't make any sense to call any one of them, and it shouldn't be like, you can't really measure it by time. I mean, let's say I spent a lot of time with him, but the entire time we were filing taxes, right? Or, for instance, like a lot of people define primary by, living together for a long time, sharing bills, that sort of thing. And, I had a roommate for years, and we were, like, not partners at all. But by this definition, he would be my primary partner. And anyways, by any definition, my cats are my primaries. And everybody accepts their meta meowers. That's not an arbitrary ranking. Cats are far superior.
Sometimes hierarchies happen.
And that's another thing that people measure primary by, is how long you've been with them, right? So, are Maggie and Megan my primaries because I've known them since I was 11? It's kind of like you're being penalizing for losing a race you didn't know you were running. Like, somebody else got there first. Okay, I'm here now. Let's do our own thing, because I'm not a competitive person. And they open up their relationships, whereas I say I open myself up. Like, thank God, oh my God. If I had to deal with somebody else's insecurities and somebody else's jealousies and somebody else's whatever in this whole entire journey, I would have just been like, no. My dating pool is about this wide, because there aren't very many people who do it like me either.
So you must be out to just like everybody, huh?
Yeah.
So do you just announce it to your undergrads in class?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, so to speak.
If it's relevant.
If it's relevant. And they're like, oh, we get it now. And I was like, yeah. If in academia, it's, especially in philosophy, it's not too weird for you to be eclectic.
Cool.
I'm 40 and unmarried. I can pretty much do whatever I want.
That's great.
Yeah. I told my grandmother. And she was like, "That's great. Are you hungry?"
Did she get it?
Oh yeah. She asks about Alex, and my grandmother's one of the people I talk to every day. So she says, "How's Alex doing? Oh, and how's his wife Annalisa?" So yeah, I think out of 9 grandchildren, 2 of them are married. So I come from a very progressive, secular Jewish family, as opposed to, I don't know, not.
Yeah.
So, I told my dad, and he was like, that's good. You could use 3 or 4 partners.
He's like, you don't have enough.
Yeah. And
You only have 2?
and so my mother, she accepts it. She accepts it because she gave up a very long time ago on having the daughter who gets married and makes babies and, you know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, still once in a while she'll say, maybe you should get one of your own. And I say, I do have quite a few of my own, thank you. That belong to me and me alone. And I was like, I belong to my partners as much as they belong to me, and I don't want anybody who's just mine. Because then I'd be like, could you get away from me? And she was like, well, yeah. don't you want somebody who's always there for you? And I was like, yeah, I have that. Well, no, I mean, if I wake up late at night and I can just turn to Ed and be like, Ed, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I can do that too. And she was like, no, somebody who's right there. And I was like, you really don't understand. Everybody's accepting and whatnot of it. Sometimes well, sometimes badly. However I deal with it, I try not to let it have too much of an effect on other people. I try to work on it myself. I blow bubbles. To calm myself, to center myself, you know, it's like breathe out the bad kind of thing and just watch them float away. If it gets really bad, I should probably go and blow bubbles and not lash, but sometimes I do. I am more jealous of the intimacy that people have than I am of, I don't know, sexual jealousy. I mean, I still have it, of course.
That can even happen, like, if people are monogamous and...
Yeah. I was friends with all of my exes until they got a new partner. I was friends with them, so of course, like, I'd hug them and I'd hold their hand, and, you know, that's what you do with your friends. I thought. And that's another thing that I never really understood, like, the whole entire idea of emotional cheating. How can you only be emotional with one person? Sarah, she illustrated this beautiful little painting of 2 purple penguins dancing and blowing bubbles. And it was just, it's me, it's for me, you know? And so, I mean, Alex likes board games, and so they might be giants.
Known and understood.
Yeah. I'd like people to know that solo poly is a thing. And although I used to be a commitment phobe, it doesn't mean that you're a commitment phobe forever or at all, maybe, I don't know, and that you can have capital R relationships without being subsumed into coupledom. I'd like them to know that hierarchy is unnecessary and frankly unethical, but that's probably more controversial. I'm happier this way than I ever was before. Everybody has their love language, the way that they give and receive love, right? So there's physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts. Usually you've got like 2 at the top. Mine are physical touch and quality time. They kind of require presence, like actual presence with a person. So you would think that I would need to live with somebody, but
no, because quality of time, not quantity of time, is right. What you said.
It's being present with a person for some amount of time with, like, no distractions. Yep. I'm happier this way than I ever was before.